Hello and welcome to Witness. I'm Raghi Omar. Nepal is home to the highest place on earth, Mount Everest, yet its recent politics have been anything but lofty. After years of hereditary rule, the country introduced a constitutional monarchy, but there was widespread disaffection and soon a Maoist insurgency was in full swing. But in 2001, things went from bad to much worse. Crown Prince Dipendra massacred 10 members of the royal family, including the king and queen, before killing himself. The new king then dismissed the prime minister and his cabinet, and for good measure, he declared a state of emergency. For Nepal's Communist Party, the whole system was a corrupt feudal regime, and in 1996 they launched their so-called People's War. They wanted to abolish all forms of discrimination. Women, in particular, saw this as a unique opportunity to win equality, and many joined the movement in droves. After years of war, peace talks are underway and Parliament has been recalled. The Maoist insurgents have traded their bullets for ballots. Just weeks before the peace talks began, filmmakers Alex Gabi and Subina Shestra were given extraordinary access to some of Nepal's revolutionary women.
In a way, the Maoist movement is also a movement towards freedom for women. Its policy is to end all feudal oppression, economic, social, political and cultural, to give women equal rights, equal to those of men.
After 10 years of bloody civil war, Nepal is today in a period of transition. Peace talks have begun, and the Maoists say that they want to enter the political mainstream. Maoist ideas are beginning to gain currency across the political spectrum, in particular, the issue of women's rights. Women now make up 50% of the party's membership. Many of them have sacrificed their personal lives to join a movement that has brought them both hardship and grief. But despite the personal costs, many women feel it's been a choice worth fighting for. Comrade BEENA is a Central Committee member of the All Nepal National Free Student Union, Revolutionary, a sister organisation of the Maoist Party.
I started my political life while studying in Ratnarajya Devi campus. I was a representative of the student union. I was taken by the ideology, the policies of Maoist student union. That's the reason I joined the organization. I'm still working with it.
Under the peace process, political prisoners around the country are being freed. For BEENA, going to the jail to free the Maoists has a special meaning.
I was arrested in Kathmandu while meeting some of my friends. I was taken to the Bhairavnath battalion. I was in the barracks for around 27 months. Life in there, I cannot even begin to describe. They beat us, tortured us, stripped us naked and beat us, gave us electric shocks, dunked us in water, kicked us. All of this was very normal. It was pathetic. They made us lie down with our legs propped up against the wall. Even to go to the toilet, they would make us jump. The tortures were painful. There were situations of torture and violence which cannot be expressed in words. We talk about law, how women, after being arrested, should be under the jurisdiction of women. But the tortures were carried out by men. There were no women, no supervisors, nothing. Those situations were difficult. Women go through double the amount of pain in custody than men. There are painful moments, truly painful ones. I believe that the Nepali people will avenge this pain.
Far from the vision of a new Nepal being discussed in the capital, Kathmandu, in the rural areas, the Maoist army, or the People's Liberation Army, are still on alert. 40% of the army, estimated to number 10,000, are thought to be women.
The oppression against women is patriarchal, but it is the state that propagates patriarchy. Only when the power within the state is changed, then the people will be freed, and the women will be freed. So the one front that tackles the state directly is the armed front. That's why women want to be in the army and destroy the old state, responsible for their oppression. They want a new state that represents their freedom.
If you look at my family, I come from a simple farming family. The year's crop would barely feed us. We had few fixed assets, and we had to make do with what we had. What's more, I kept witnessing the discrimination between women and men. Husbands beating up their wives, how the rich exploited land rights, and the dire poverty everywhere. All this made a difference to my beliefs. My political beliefs became stronger, and I finally decided that I had to leave my home.
AASTHA is a commissar of her battalion. Unlike in most other units, the commander of AASTHA's battalion is also a woman.
My work is to command the whole unit politically. Commander Asmita's work is to command in battle and manage the unit at the front line. There, the commissar takes the back role, and Asmita takes the commanding role. At other times, we discuss things, like who works where, and whatever the conclusion is, we follow that up. But as a commissar, I am the main commander.
AASTHA was drawn to Maoist ideology at college. Her work had been mainly political and behind the scenes, but 2 years ago she was asked to go to the front lines to join the People's Liberation Army as battalion commander and political commissar.
If you look at the strengths of women, the first is determination. Then there is patience, diligence, and consistency. They're more of it all. It doesn't mean that men don't possess these qualities. But our social background is such that we develop under difficult circumstances. When there's a lot of pressure in the battlefield, a lot of men panic, but women are relaxed. They can deal with it. Even at an ideological level, once they understand, they're committed. There have been many accusations against us, but if the enemy don't criticize us, we'll soften towards them. The enemy has to criticize. But whatever they call us, midgets or elf soldiers, the enemy has been exasperated. They're scared of us. I believe whoever raises their voices for the working classes, whoever picks up a weapon to fight on their behalf and makes the masses believe that the fight is for them, then people will be with them. And if you look at Nepal's situation, the true workers are the women.
I am now 19 years old. My father married me off when I was 13. We did not have any land or any assets. Only a house, but not more than that. We had to work for others to earn money. Every day we had to work on others' lands. My father was an alcoholic and he would beat up my mother. So, the situation was like, I did not really get any education. I did not go to school. I studied until class 3, and even that I barely managed. My in-laws used to harass me all the time. My husband would get drunk and would beat me up. The situation was deplorable. Around then, a lot of Maoist cadres would come and talk to people and explain about their work, their policies. After that, when I saw the hopeless situation in our society, I felt that I too had to do something. I felt that I should leave home and join the revolution.
After the break, we'll see how Nepal's revolutionary women are striving to establish equality and recognition after the country's long-running conflict.